Good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So I'm almost finished breaking down camp. It's probably 8:30 in the morning. I just reached out to a guy named David, who's at an evangelical church up in Swisshome, which is 35 miles for me to go today. And he said that they've got a spot there that I can put up my tent. It's some land, and he said it's like 150 yards from a river. And that's where I'm going to stay tonight. The elevation doesn't look bad at all. Tomorrow night I'll be in Eugene. Unfortunately, the place that David has does not have a shower. But as you can see, I changed my clothes. Yeah, finally. It's honestly been like cold enough to where it hasn't bothered me. Like when I came into Raymond, I had to get a hotel, motel just to shower. Like I felt bad. I felt rough. But I don't really feel too rough. It's been very, very temperate riding. I don't sweat really at all. Unless I'm doing like a really big hill climb, and I've only had a few of those in the last few days. So anyway, that's where I'm going to stay tonight. Tomorrow night, Eugene, Oregon. I'm going to stay at a hostel in Eugene and check it out. And yeah, I'm excited about today. I'm going to get up and go to Subway, get some lunch. It looks like there's not going to be much food between here and Eugene, so I'm going to go ahead and get an extra sandwich. And food is definitely going to be something I'll need to do this bike ride. Oh man, I'm eating a lot of food. Thank you for all your donations, by the way, through Facebook. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, thanks for sharing the fundraiser. I'm about to enter part of the United States where I'm not going to probably have very much contact with a lot of people like I have been on the more touristy parts of the Oregon coast. I really don't know. I know that God is already there and is already supplying my need when I get there. But you know, I definitely want to ask, hey, share the fundraiser. If you know someone who's passed away from addiction, either drop a comment on YouTube or drop a comment on Facebook. I'd love to ride for them. You know, if you know somebody who's addicted, look, there's ways out. There's Celebrate Recoveries, there's churches, there's rescue missions. There's so many people who want to talk to you. I'll talk to you. You know, just find a way to reach out and climb out of the hole you're in and seek help. You know, it's already been paid. The help for us has already been paid at the cross. Jesus made a way. And it's so good to walk in that way. You don't have any fear. You don't have any hesitation. You don't have any doubt. So I'm definitely thankful for every one of you who has supported me this far. Again, definitely need you guys' help. Redeeming Eden is a non-profit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. So you will get a tax-deductible receipt if you donate through the website, which is in the description below. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'm hoping to run into some people here in Florence near the subway. I definitely appreciate your prayers, too. I'm definitely finding that people praying is helping out tremendously with just the different amazing things that God's doing and the people that He's allowing me to meet. I'm definitely getting to minister to a lot of people. You know, some people don't receive my testimony. Some people do. But I'm getting to meet a lot of people every day. And so that's my only concern, is just, you know, kind of getting into the unpopulated part. But I know God's already there waiting on me. And I know that I have you guys' faithful support and your prayers. And so with that, I'm going to finish putting this tent in a bag, putting the bag on my bike, and putting my bike down the hill into Florence. And you'll see more of that right about now. Alright, so as I rode down that hill, I came into Florence, Oregon. And, you know, I searched for a Subway at the top of the hill because I wanted to get a Subway for the ride that I'm about to make toward Eugene. There doesn't look like there's any food along the way. So I wanted to go ahead and stock up on a Subway, get an extra Subway sandwich, you know, and just kind of be prepared for a longer ride. I got to the first Subway on the left, the north location in Florence, and when I walked inside, all their tables were closed. And I asked, I said, you know, is there anywhere I can sit? She said, no, not because of COVID. I said, what about the next location, the south location? Do they have any tables available? She said, I think they have 2. I said, okay, I'll go ahead and go that far. And I asked, you know, how far is it? She said, about 2 miles. And so I said, okay. So I pedaled down here, and it was 11 o'clock when I walked up, and the line was long, you know, maybe 20 people in line for Subway. And I started noticing that, you know, a lot of them were down and out. And so I got to having conversations with some of the people in the line, talked about Jesus, talked about what I'm doing out here, talked about addiction recovery, talked with a very special lady who was under the influence of alcohol, and you know, just was kind of telling her about my testimony. And she just started saying, you know, God bless the church. I'm so thankful for the church. She mentioned that she had lost a daughter at 30 years old, and her daughter was 30, to cancer. And so as we talked, she said, hey, the password in here is jaw, and you get a free sandwich. And I said, I don't understand. She said, well, Florence United Methodist Church on Kingwood Street has a soup kitchen, and they feed on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock. But because of COVID, their soup kitchen is closed. So what they've done is they buy all the homeless in this town lunch at Subway on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock. So awesome. Way to go, Florence United Methodist Church. You guys are doing the work of Christ, feeding the hungry. This is beautiful. I did get an extra sandwich for the ride from your church. Thank you very much. But I also bought my own Subway meal for the day today. I just thought it was amazing. You know, I even thought at the first Subway, should I just sit here? And the Spirit was like, nope, go to the next one. I showed up at the exact time that I had to be here to get a free lunch. So again, Florence United Methodist Church, I tried calling you on the phone. If you see this, if somebody shared it to you, thank you so much. You have helped keep Redeeming Eden going a little bit longer. I love you guys. Thank you so much for filling my belly. And yeah, I'm gonna eat, charge my phone, and get on the road. I love you guys. I'll see you later. All right, so I just turned east. I'm headed across the United States. Those clouds you see in the background are over the Pacific Ocean, so I'm leaving it behind. I couldn't think of a more memorable night for my last night on the Pacific than to be overlooking that lighthouse, the Heceta Head Lighthouse, and seeing that comet. Wow, just a beautiful day yesterday. Beautiful vantage point for the Pacific where I slept last night. Again, I really enjoyed the Pacific coast. But now I've got some mountains to cross. I love you guys. I'll see you later. So it's almost 2 o'clock. I decided to stop here on the side of the road and see how far it was to David's place. And it looks like it's only, you know, another 8 or 10 miles. Sorry about the traffic noise. So I'm going to go ahead and ride into there and see how I feel. After that, it's like another 50 miles to Eugene. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. I could continue to pedal harder and longer today, because it's been a super easy flat ride. If you're riding the Trans-America Trail from Florence on into Eugene, So far, the entire road from Florence headed toward Eugene has been mostly flat. It does look like it picks up a little bit of elevation as I go farther east, but it's not too much. So, still trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm really rested and I could pedal a lot farther today. I'm just wondering if I'm supposed to or not. So, of course, you guys will know before I do what I decide to do. I love you. I'll see you later. Alright, so I just stopped here in Mapleton, Oregon, and pulled into the gas station here, got a Powerade, and Lori, who is working there, I was telling her kind of, about what I'm doing and asking her, how far it is to the place I'm staying, and she bought me some crackers and a Slim Jim to get me some more fuel for the ride. So thanks, Lori. I do appreciate it. And from here, it looks like it's only about 8 miles up to Swisshome, where I'm staying this afternoon. I'm going to get there early. I've decided to go ahead and stay in Swisshome tonight, and I'm going to take the tire off the bicycle and go ahead and change that spoke. So I should have plenty of daylight and time to be able to do that. And then tomorrow I'll make the push into Eugene. I plan on staying at the Eugene Whitaker Hostel tomorrow night. So again, I never really know, but I make plans and then I let the Lord determine whether or not they're going to work for Him or not. So I'm on His time, not my own. But here goes nothing. Alright, so that river that I've been riding is beautiful. I get here to Swisshome, so in Bicycle Route Navigator, which is the app that the Adventure Trail Association puts out that you can download their maps from, maps all over the United States, I have the Trans-America Trail maps, and on that map it had Swisshome Evangelical Church listed and a contact number. So I called earlier, like I said, David, and ended up talking with him. Well, when I got here, we had church. We had church right out here by this picnic table when I pulled up. Right here in the back of this church. They've got a little water spigot over here that I can use, some good well water. They've got power connections on the back. They got a porta potty over there that I can use. Picnic table. I can put my tent up. They even said some deer come out later. But on Sundays, because of COVID, they actually put the pulpit right up here on this hill, and they preach out here, and they had 42 people in this little town this Sunday. So, man, God's good. But me and David and Brad had a good conversation, and it was just such a sweet time of fellowship. He gave me some tips about the road ahead, which is always good. And then he also told me where to find how to get to the river, and that's where I'm headed. I'm about to go jump in. That feels so good. Wow, this is some good, fresh, cold, clean water. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, well, that was super refreshing. Man, I have needed that for like 6 days. Ever since Jetty Fishery Marina and RV Park. That's the last shower I was able to get. But hey, if that's a way I have to suffer, that Jesus might be lifted up, then I'm down. Because that was one of the best river swims I may have ever had. Just crystal clear, cold, refreshing, clean water. I can't stress that enough, how good and clean and fresh and cold it was. And yeah, I am just nice and peachy clean. Oh, it feels so good. I get an actual shower tomorrow in Eugene at the hostel, but still, I don't think any hot shower or warm shower I've ever had compares to that cold river bath I just took. Oh man. Anyway, I'm headed up here to the campsite to take the bike apart and replace that spoke. It's always a good thing to bring, you know, 2 or 3 extra spokes for the front wheel and 2 or 3 extra spokes for the back wheel along on your trip, because you never know when one's going to break. And when it does, you want to be able to alleviate that situation without having to find a bicycle shop. So that's what you're about to see right now. Alright, well, it turns out I had 2 broken spokes. So I was able to fix the 1-1 gear so that it doesn't jump off the track anymore. And I think that's what was causing the broken spokes on the back. It doesn't have a dork disc, so whenever the chain would jump over, it would just break a spoke. Hopefully now that I've fixed the cable tension, that should be okay. The GoPro quit running, or else I would have filmed the rest of what I did. But either way, today was all in all a really good day. Transamerica Trail Riders, the ride from Florence in here to Swisshome is flat all the way. Nothing to it. It was an easy, easy ride. I look forward to more riding like that. So that kind of closes out my day-to-day here at the Swisshome Evangelical Church in their park. It's right on the train tracks and then right on the river. So I've actually got a train coming by right now. So I'm going to get my tent set up, get ready for the night, go ahead and cut and edit this video, and get it ready for you to see. Hopefully tomorrow. I've got okay service here, so hopefully I'll be able to get it posted. Tomorrow's ride looks like a good one. I'm going up over, I guess, the Pacific Mountain crest, ridge. And then I'll come down into Eugene. There's also supposed to be a super special spot that I get to swim tomorrow. So hopefully I'll meet some people there and share the good news of Jesus. It is good news, isn't it? Again, I love you guys. I'm thankful that you're watching these videos and keeping up and participating in the journey with me. Always pray for more encounters with people for the gospel, like the homeless population that was at Subway earlier that I got to spend a little time with. Those meetings are really good. And I enjoy those, I think, the most because, you know, hey, there's the potential that someone won't die from overdose from hearing the gospel. With that, I'm closing it out for the night. Not going to keep you guys too long. From here in Swisshome, Oregon. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Have a good night.